Let's get straight into this video. We're going to be making order blocks made easy for you and supply and demand trading made easy for you. I'm going to talk about a concept that's going to help you to identify turning points in the markets where you can pick up these winning trades. Now, I'm going to do a sketch first to show what we're looking for. Then we'll look at this US dollar Japanese yen pair on the daily time frame. You don't need to apply this on a lower time frame. We will be going through later in this video how you can use the confirmation entry to find those high risk reward trades. So the sketch I'm going to show you is what we're looking for. Let's say we're looking for a bullish market and we see the market doing this. We want to see the market come back and we want to see the removal of a previous low to pick up any stops left behind, where we can then look for a rally out breaking structure. Now, at this point in the market, we're going to leave behind our area of demand or an order block where we're looking for the market to pull back into for that entry. Now, what we're looking for here is when we catch our entry, we'll be looking for that buy to go back up to those previous highs. That's a typical way of looking at using this strategy to make it easy for you. Now, the other way we can look at this, and let me just remove this section here, is we can also look for this area to make a minor break of structure like this, where we see the shift, and then leave behind this as our area, look for the market to come back to. Now, there's some more rules for you to take a trade like this, but I will go through those later in this video, so make sure you keep watching to the end so you don't miss any of these steps you need to take. Now remember, if there's anything you want to ask me, don't forget to leave a comment below in this video, and if you're new to the channel, you want to learn more about supply and demand trading concepts, don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now. So the way to make order blocks made easy or supply and demand zones made easy, we're going to apply this now on the US dollar Japanese yen. I will show you step by step how you'll do this. Then we'll go through later in the video how you'll look to qualify zones and you'll actually find high risk reward trades. So the first thing we'll look at is that reversal. We can see we have this low here in the market, make this lower high. We make the break to downside of this low, but then we see the rally up, breaking this high. That is our manipulation phase and a break of structure. That's what we're looking for. When the market now pulls back, we would draw our area of demand where we capture our trades at these areas and look for that push higher. That's how I look to take a trade here. Now, we do also have a small area of imbalance, which is filled on these two candles that push down. When we have the first entry, we have a push higher. Then the market comes back in, retest again. Now, we'll just quickly remove everything and you'll see that we go slightly below these lows here in the market to pick up a few orders and we rally higher. That's the typical way you look to make this easier for yourself. You're waiting for that break of structure to leave this area of demand or to leave this area of an order block area. This is where we're seeing that change of character. And if you don't understand what the change of character is, there is a video, and I'm going to leave that video at the end of this video so you can go through and learn more about the change of character. This video is about making everything more easier for you to understand applying the order blocks made easy or applying the supply and demand zones made easy. That's one way we can look at it. Now, the other way is we can also look at the market. Let me look at this area for you, where we see this low. We break to the upside, make a new high. We then pull back and we break this low here. Now you can see that we just go below and then we have a push higher breaking structure once again. Now remember that sketch I went through where we saw this. We can also have that minor break of structure, and that does happen right here. And we have another break of structure on another manipulation. So we're going to focus now on this area of price. And we'll go through how you can actually qualify to make this more easy for you to find those high risk reward trades and what we're looking for at this area on the chart. Now, another thing we need to focus on is when we're looking at a pullback, especially when we see, let's say, this area on this pullback, we want to make sure we're going below that 50% area, going towards that 60-70% area on the fibs to make sure we're getting the best price possible and hopefully seeing it going back to the area of an imbalance or demand zone or an order block. So what we're seeing here is when we see this manipulation phase here, we'll drop down to a lower time frame to look for that trade. That's the second way we can look to trade this, or you'll wait for the break of this area of minor structure. And then you can see we have another manipulation and the market pulls back and there's another chance here for another entry. So let's look at this second way you can take a trade. That's the first simple way on the single time frame. Now this way we're going to go through the confirmation entry qualifying zones to pick up those better looking trades. So let's draw this out. We have this low in the market where we see this manipulation. Once we do this, and these are the time frames you're going to use, we're going to be on the daily time frame. We're then going to go down to the 1 hour time frame. So once you've done this, we'll go down to the 1 hour time frame. We'll look for that break of structure, look for an entry. Now you can then, if you wish, go down to next time frame of the 15 or a 5 minute. That's how we'll look at qualifying these zones. So let's now go down to 1 hour time frame at this area on the chart, and we'll focus on looking at this section for a reversal. So now we're on the 1 hour time frame. You can identify where we see the market making these lows here, and we drop into this section we was talking about, and you can see this is that level on that daily where we see them break to downsides. Let me just remove that box. We don't need that box on the chart at the moment. So when we see the market dropping down into this area, hopefully you can identify this already. We make the manipulation. You see, we're looking for that manipulation all the time. We then make this low, we rally up, we break this structure. Now this area we also leave behind once we close on this bearish candle, this area of imbalance where we see the market does come back in and we have a small rally away, and then we come back deeper. Now if you was marking out your order block, I believe you'll be marking out like this when you see the market comes back in. Now for me, when I'm marking out my area of demand, this is our change of character. Remember that video is coming up at the end if you're not sure how that looks. This would be my area of demand. And you can identify that this comes back in once, twice, and a last time where we see this low removed. So this becomes a tested area of demand, and then we go lower to take out these lows, pick up more orders, and we remove those stops again. So again, what do we then achieve here? Well, we're in that 1 hour entry. Let me just mark this out with a box. So this is your first entry, and we'll go out so you can see where the market goes up from there. So a entry from here is a good trade. Even that is a good trade, but we can actually qualify this and find a better entry. And the way we'll do this is when we see the break of this low here, another manipulation. So let me mark this out. We identify another manipulation. We're then going to drop down to a 15 minute. Now it may have to go to a 5 minute if we can go back that far. So we're looking at a 15. We may need to go down to a 5 minute here. Let's go if we can go back to a 5 minute. Yes, we can. Let's go closer into price. Let's zoom in. So now we can identify our change of character. So we can see that the market drops in. We make this low. We then have this low here, and we break structure on this move up. So let's mark that out with our box. So we can see this is our break of structure. Now there's no area of imbalance left behind, but this would be our area of demand. And you can see the market comes back in and we rally away. That is your first entry, understanding that reversal. So you've understood that this is that price has gone lower inside that higher time frame area of demand. We then had the confirmation entry or the change of character, and we've then had this entry. Now you can witness here that that's qualifying your zone, and this is how you can greatly increase your risk to reward. Now, if you're not sure how this is done, go back and watch this again on the video, or go through and watch some of my trade reviews. You'll be able to go through and find those in the channel, or I'll leave it linked above now to one of the videos where you can see how I trade the markets using a supply and demand approach. And you'll see how I actually do this on lower time frame, qualify these zones. Now, if you're looking for the use of an order block, and if we go back to the 1 hour time frame, we already identified this was our order block area where we see the change of character, and all this area is where we look for that trade. Now, if we then go back to a daily once again, and we're going to look at a different way this time, we're going to look at when we see the market actually from this low, we rally up, we make this high low, we break of structure. Now, this could be looked as an area to look for a trade, but it's not a very clean area. So what we're looking for is that manipulation again, that happens right here. And you could then look at this as your break of structure. Let me just quickly draw this on the chart so we can see this becomes your break of structure after our manipulation, like here. And then we can actually focus when we see the breakout. We have this area of imbalance and we have this area of demand and an order block. I'll change the character, the market comes back in, and then we see the move higher. Or the other way, which we'll be going through in this video, is we'll look for that manipulation. So let's just go back to the 1 hour again, this area on the chart. I'm going to the 1 hour, let's find that zone quickly. So again, what do you see? We see the market dropping in. We make this low, we rally out, breaking at this area. Now this move up, we're looking for that 50% area. So this is our 50% area. Price comes in below that 50% area for our entry. This is our change of character. And we also leave behind this area here of imbalance, which is filled. And for your area of a demand zone, this is your demand zone where price comes back in. And your order block, I believe, will be looking at this area here for the market to come back. So what we can also identify now, when the market comes back and fills this imbalance back into this demand zone, what do we have again? We have a smaller time frame manipulation. We're on the 1 hour this time, remember. Now we see this smaller time frame manipulation. This is where we'll go down to qualify this trade. And we're inside our demand zone now. We now see the manipulation. Remember, we're looking for price to do this. Remember, break of structure, leaving behind our area for a trade. Or we can then look for that manipulation entry. So this time we're going to go down to, let's go to 15-minute chart. Let's see if we can find it. This is that area. Okay. Now on a 15 minutes, just zoom in. The first break of structure on this chart is going to be the breakout right here. And you'll be looking for the market to pull back into this area of demand. Now you can see that doesn't happen and price doesn't. But we then go on to make another break of structure here. And this time we leave this area, we can draw out where price does come back to. So the market comes back in on 3 occasions and then we rally out. Now, even if you don't take it off this area and you're watching price at this point, you can then also identify once again, and let me just draw this out on the chart. We have this break of structure, this minor break. Let's get that right. I like to get my lines looking right. So we can see that we have this break out to the upside here. Now, we also leave behind this area of imbalance where this single candle pushes into and we see the move higher. Now, perhaps I will look at doing a video later all about imbalances. If that's something you want to see, leave a comment below and let me know. But that is exactly how you can look to qualify zones when you're looking to have order blocks made easy, or whether it's a supply and demand trading made easy. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, don't forget to give me that thumbs up. It's going to help me to know you're enjoying this content. And popping up right now is that video that I mentioned all about that change of character and how you can start using that to understand these reversals when we see these manipulations in the markets.